Andy, Thursday night
Hey.
football. We got Bills, Patriots in a weird one. 24 points so far. Not as many as we could have. Definitely not as many as the Patriots could have with just 7. That missed field goal at the end stings. Apparently, the Patriots special teams continuing to fumble the bag.
Why can't I hold all these limes?
I know. I did get a good kick out of that first quarter, though. Patriots get the first touchdown. A guy named Marcus Jones, who apparently runs back punts and also is a good option in the offense. I didn't look at the Patriots roster, but I think they have 8 or 9 guys named Jones, which feels like Belichick is literally trying to unlock. Our friend Ben Solak had that kind of very, very, I thought, prescient comment where it's like Belichick looks and acting like he's just like bored and trying to unlock all the achievements with the way that he calls games and the way he constructs rosters, and the fact that he has 10 guys named Jones is right in that wheelhouse. So anyway, Mac Jones, another Jones, looks The offensive scheme looks putrid for the Patriots. It's predictable. A lot of wasted downs with running Ramondre Stevenson into an absolutely well-controlled gap box. I don't really have a lot of hope that the Patriots are going to get back in this one. This could have completely gotten away from them already. That drive that the Bills had that ended in the fumble felt like that was going to end in a touchdown. What's your read?
It almost did too. I'm much less worried about the Bills continuing to move the ball, because even on the drive that ended in a sloppy, you can't hold the ball like that kind of fumble, they were moving it. They had a touchdown. It was a pretty apparent penalty that came back. I'm not going to argue that, but the worry for my over, as you know, I did bet this pregame over at 43.5 and 50.5. The worry is that we get 3 more drives like we got from New England, and then Buffalo has 3, their 3 drives are like touchdown, field goal, punt, and then it's 27-7, and the rest of the Bills drives are just like taking the air out of the ball. Yeah. Really, really needs something out of New England. And I don't know, like, back to you, have we seen decent enough second half adjustments from the brain trust that's running this New England offense to have faith in anything along those lines?
No. And I mean, honestly, I don't even know that I see the adjustments there, right? Like the adjustment,
it's play sequencing.
Yeah, the adjustment is literally call good plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, apparently. God, dude, you brought up that nullified touchdown penalty, and like, I don't have any evidence of this at all. And this is not helping anyone trying to bet the second half, so apologies. No. But I don't think we've seen a lot of Sean Hockley in primetime this year. And you know who I didn't miss? Sean Hockley. Do not like the way he and his crew calls games at all. They tend to make questionable calls and then try to do the makeup calls, but they try to do it in the same direction, right? So if they like hurt one offense inadvertently, like, well, we got to hurt the other offense now, and it ends up kind of really tilting things for the totals. And just in general, like, I feel like they always consistently just lose control of these games in terms of the way they're trying to referee. So Hockley, I could do with less Hockley in my life, I think. I don't know, man. Everything is saying this is probably an under game the way it's gone. Bills probably score 10 in the second half. Patriots maybe get shut out. What do you think? Under?
Yeah, I'm fine playing for a small middle here.
Okay.
Truthfully, if I didn't have a pregame move, I would probably play this under 21.5.
Okay, let's do that then.
Because it does just feel like what is New England going to do to change their lot in life in the second half?
Yeah,
they don't seem to have an ability or a willingness to throw to certain parts of the field. Their run game has been absolutely stymied, and outside of the one play, which really, it was their second drive, but let's probably still put it in the realm of scripted plays because their first drive was a 3 and out. You still have 12 to 15 more scripted plays in the pocket. So
I can see
outside of that second drive, it wasn't great.
I can see a world where we have 21 points scored in the second half. Like a game. Let's say the game. Like it's a really common NFL final score, like 24-21. That's live.
God damn it. Oh, Darren.
It's live. Patriots get the ball first, score a touchdown. I mean, 17, we didn't even really and then it's just 2 more touchdowns, and we're there. Right at the most common score of all time. Yeah.
7th most common, according to Darren.
Oh, sorry. 7th most common. My bad. My B.
I know we put it up on the screen, and it's official because Dan put it on a banner, but have you looked at the side at all? Like the Bills to win the second half is basically minus 115.
I think that's where we go then. You want to double it up?
Yeah, let's make 2 bets. I'm gonna bet the Bills as well. So when this is Patriots 14-0 in the second half, we can lose all
lose both. No, that's a split. No, if it's 14-0 Patriots second half, that's a split, man. 14-7 Patriots in the second half would also be a split because that would only be 21 points.
No, I'm saying when it's 14-0, we're like, oh, now the Bills are gonna have to kick it in, and the under loses for sure. So,
can we get an alt Bills? Like, can we sell them up? Anyone offer those these days in the second half? I don't think so.
Not really. 5 dimes RIP.
I know, seriously.
And I guess we were on the right side of this total. At Chris, the total did just drop to 21. So getting some 21.5 wasn't a bad call.
All right.
And really, the long touchdown pass was awful nice. And Stevenson had like one nice run. I guess it is 5.7 a carry, but only on 6 carries. It's not a big enough sample for me to be too excited. Like I've seen it from Singletary and Cook.
You know why what we have is correlated. Like if Patriots don't get a touchdown here, right? If they don't get into this game, the Bills. Oh, that's right. I forgot the Patriots had that absolutely atrocious first drive. Bills do start with the ball. So the Bills go score a touchdown. Then all of a sudden, Patriots' backs are against the wall. They're not even going to try field goals. Nick Folk came up short from 48. So I think he's probably attempted his last field goal of the night. One would hope. Game state may force the Patriots into a go for it on 4th down type of deal. Oh man!
Not only that, but
Andrew Christopherson. There are so many things I miss.
Everything
about 5 dimes. So many.
The ease of use with open parlays. This just came up multiple times in chats after we brought it up on the pod on Wednesday.
Oh my god!
Round robining pleasers.
Yes.
The high school football lines, lacrosse lines.
All the alt stuff was so good.
All the alt stuff, like the fact that if you liked it over and it was 45. They had an over 82 sitting there.
Yes.
And if you like the Bills at minus, Bills at -3, what do you think about Bills minus 27.5? That shit was just
so fun. People don't know, man.
It was like going to a goddamn cheesecake factory. Like, this menu's too big. What are we doing?
There's no way all this is correctly priced, and a lot of it wasn't, which is why it's so fun.
If we want to get back into story time right away, because I don't have a whole lot else to say about this. So there was a guy, and anyone who doesn't remember 5 dimes or doesn't maybe even know what it is, it was an offshore. It's still available in Canada, but it was run by a fella named Tony, who, God rest his soul, was kidnapped and murdered down in Costa Rica, found in a ditch somewhere. Yes. His wife was left the company, and she ended up doing some different things with it. Now it is, it's not available to Americans. That's why we're a little sad. But there was a teaser. So you guys, everyone knows what a teaser is.
Yes.
Not everyone maybe knows what a pleaser is. It's the opposite. So let's say the Bills are favored by what'd they close at tonight? 3, 5?
I think 3.5, right?
If so, a teaser would take them to plus 2.5, whatever.
Yes, right.
Always
please across 0. Yeah.
You always please across 0. So the pleaser was one where it would push it 6 points in the opposite direction. So a 2-team pleaser paid like what, 5-1 or something along those lines.
Something cool, yeah.
Yeah, so
maybe more actually.
More, but they had a list of like 5 point, 6 point, 4.5 point, ties win, ties lose.
Anything you could do anything. Yeah,
there was like 90 different pleasers, and one of them was like a 14-point pleaser where ties lost in the college basketball, and they had added an extra 0 to the odds.
I remember that.
So if it should have paid 10 to 1 or something, it paid 100 to 1. So some guy just went and placed thousands of them
for $1, right? It was just all
like $1 for like $1 a piece, and he just did every combo because eventually there'd be 2 games where the 2 games often enough racked up a bunch, and they did not pay him.
That was the risk. You were playing in the Wild West. You were playing in the Wild West with Tony. But here the God, dude, they had the one offering. You remember the time you could parlay a great white shark to beat Michael Phelps, parlayed with Putin to get reelected, parlayed with I think I parlayed that with McGregor over. No, Mayweather or McGregor, Putin, a shark.
Yeah, Putin.
Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest. Yeah, Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest, and something else insane. And I got basically even odds on a massive parlay back in what was that, 2016, 2015? God, I gotta go find that. I definitely have screenshots of that. The odds on Putin was like -1,000. They were all like right around -1,000. A great white shark to beat Michael Phelps was like -400 or something. God, I'm sure I have those tweets still up. I think I said yeah. Anyway, that was fun as shit, man. There was a fifth leg that I forget, but it was a hot dog, a boxer, Putin, a shark, and something else.
It sounds like the beginning of a joke. Michael Phelps, Putin Phelps, and a shark walk into a bar. I remember that shark race, and I was super mad that they weren't I thought they
wasn't real.
I thought they were going to be in the same pool. Like they just put a pool and put the shark in there with Phelps, but that wasn't cool.
Yeah, let me find it.
And Sam, I do remember the fixed virtual. It wasn't fixed, but it was pre-recorded. And
you're not gonna believe the fifth one. It was O.J. Simpson is granted parole in 2017. That was -560.
Well,
it was 1,000 to win, 1,065.78.
The Buffalo
Joey
Bills.
Chestnut, the Great White Shark. Great White Shark was -475. Putin was -1350. I got Mayweather at -850. That was a terrible price. I should have waited. Yeah. And then Joey Chestnut wins the Nathans at -485. Oh my God.
OJ to get parole. I forgot. I would have
OJ to get parole.
I would have never remembered that in 100 years. He is out though. Did you see that graphic today? The it was murder trial record, and it had the Bills and the Patriots logos. It's 1-0, 0-1.
0-1. Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Some people just wilding out on Twitter. You guys, watch out. Papa Boss is gonna put you in your place. Have we gotten the second half to get going yet?
Here's some of the best parts about this. There were qualifications on all these. The O.J. Simpson is granted parole in 2017, had a star. Not granted parole. Oh, this was scheduled hearing on July 20th. Must occur for action. That was one of the stipulations.
Honestly,
my God.
So this one was wild, and I've made some wild, and I've won a few wild bets over there. My favorite 5-dime story is when they just threw their hands up on Sam Bradford and the Vikings and said, fuck it, we'll put 2 lines out. Because nobody knew if Sam Bradford was going to start, and they really, really wanted to take action without putting a middle price out. So they just gave you 2 prices, and it was like Vikings -8, Sam Bradford must start. Vikings -3, Sam Bradford can't start. Out there, which truthfully, great. And I thought it was silly at the time, but if you put those lines up at low limits, people would bet into those.
Of course, absolutely.
Weeks like this with Justin Fields, or last week with Kyler Murray,
Those guys knew how to write action. They absolutely had it. By the way, Cal, thank you for the compliment. This is one of those blanket shirts. It's like got a nice fleecy kind of feel. Oh my gosh, on a cold night. It's like 50 out, Andy. It is cold. I need a nice fleecy shirt like this.
Too. I should have worn mine. So I got my winter time Stitch Fix in the mail today. This episode of the Deep Dive is brought to you by Stitch Fix. You can get clothes directly shipped right to your house, guys. Only keep what you want. Send back what you don't. They'll take that $20 right off the top. But I got a pink sweatshirt, obviously. But I did get a blanket shirt like that. It was all warm long sleeve stuff. I'll wear it tomorrow. If I show up, my kid had a temp of like 102.7 today.
Ooh,
and the school called. Man. And the worst part is that like nowadays, everyone's going to sue everybody for everything. So they can't even give them like medicine. I'm like, so did you give them fever reducer? Well, no, we can't. Oh, well, why do you even have a nurse? Like, just have the librarian set a cot aside. Honestly, like anybody can take a kid's temperature. They're paying an RN for doing nothing. So, but they won't let them go to school tomorrow. So, flu kids. I'm gonna probably have a beanbag sitting over there.
Long weekend. No, you got to make him do his homework. I'm not listening to any of that Axel F.
Yeah, we played. He was pretty tired. We played some Pokemon Violet today. Otherwise, it was pretty much just taking it easy, watching German soccer.
Have you guys beaten Zelda yet?
We have all 4 of the Divine Beasts beaten.
Okay.
But I kind of want to beat all the rest of the shrines before I go into the castle. I'm a completist.
There's a lot.
There's like 120 shrines.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Back to teaser talk. It says
I fully support that. I fully support it. You should also upgrade all your clothes before you go in. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The ending is anticlimactic. The rest of the game is the best part by far.
Honestly, I hate upgrading the clothes because the fairies, they get me hot and bothered. Anyway, Matthew Link, and starring Link is the star of our Zelda game, and our friend Link is in the chat, but he says, back to teaser talk. When there's a flipped favorite and you tease the dog initially, is it plus EV to tease the other side as a dog?
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Because not only that, but your first leg now has, I mean, your first leg has how much CLV at that point?
Yeah, a massive amount. Like probably 5%, 4%.
It depends. Going from
you start with you said CLV. You start with like 2 or 3% EV. You get another 2 or 3 more. I
mean, let's just talk straight EV, but like, which is my dog's name. If you had a +1.5 in a teaser and it flips to -1.5, the amount of, you don't have CLV till it closes, but the amount of extra added expected value to your teaser leg that you have there is so high that adding the other side kind of feels like a no-brainer. It sucks that one of them is, a higher total game. Somebody did DM me and ask about that. Mm-hmm. And maybe you have a better take on this. And then after this, I'm going to go home.
J-Rod asks, do you have any Aussie or Masters futures? The Aussie is going to be a snooze fest this year. This is like Joker, Iga, potentially winning without dropping a set kind of situation.
I'll have both of those bets. Depending on the price, I'll have both those bets in my pocket.
They're so far ahead of the rest. You can't even really calculate it. I mean, people might talk themselves into Alcaraz, but I would stay way away from him in that tournament and on that surface for the time being. Zal Masters, log it. Do we know who's going to be allowed to play in the Masters?
Who's that?
Like, is everybody allowed to play in the Masters? Like DJ and
Buddy, I don't
Bill and all of them?
Yeah, we'll find out. Like, no one knows the answer to that yet. We might not know that till like 3 weeks out, man. So anyway, real quick, someone in a DM group, or not even a group, it was just a straight DM. He asked about the totals in teasers. And I mean, the easy answer is high totals invite variance, but he posed the question and he threw it as a hypothetical. He said, if you're teasing a favorite down, why is a high total bad in that case? He's like, if I had it, and he said, these are just wild hypotheticals. I'm going to go way off the board with this. But he's like, if I have a team that's a 2-point favorite, I'd rather bet a 2-point favorite in a total of 100 than a total of 14. And, obviously those aren't totals that are going to exist outside of maybe live betting. But, and I said, I would agree. If the total is 14, I don't think teasing an 8.5-point favorite down to 2 is something you'd ever want to do. I said there's probably a point of diminishing returns somewhere in the 20s. Like if you have an 8, 7.5, 8.5-point favorite, you do a 6-point tease down, like eventually the total is going to be low enough where there is probably some diminishing return on, the favorite covering in that case, just because there's so few expected points that the game is just inherently going to be very close. But NFL totals don't get into the 20s. Even getting down to like 35 only happens when you have things going on like things like the
Russell Wilson's involved.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's involved right now. So I just said, like, if you're gonna take a total and derive the team totals from it, that's their median expected scoring. And you take a distribution from that, and on a lower one, like it stops. It stops a lot sooner because it hits 0 quicker. And in a higher total like that distribution, everything raises up, and those tails get a little taller. Just everything, all the variance, deviance, and everything you're inviting in with the amount of expected points just to work against you as far as you're relying on the efficiency.
Right. Which is why, I mean, if you can get the same bet size down, like it's not worth sweating a 3 at -115, for instance, at your total is above 51, right? Same logic applies in the other direction, right? The higher the total, the less valuable 3 becomes, because so many.
I mentioned that too. I said like a 3 is much more valuable in a 40-point total than it is in a 60-point total.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I think same thing goes.
Yeah.
The same knowledge, the same these tenets can be used when you're betting college football. Like I remember, I used to bet a lot of Maction. I don't know. I do remember watching these scores when I was in that. My daughter would have been in preschool, so like 8 years ago. There was a lot of 70-point totals in the MAC that year, and just like a 3 didn't mean shit. It just was super, super unimportant compared to a normally totaled game or an NFL game where, it's already less important than the college game. But once these totals got super high, it's like, well, I'm selling this to like 7.
Plus, there's a lot of nice extra points in the MAC, so that's part of action. Real quick, the more story time. The biggest middle I ever hit in life. I know it off the top of my head.
I do too.
It was. You do?
I know mine. I'll tell you mine after. It was at 5 dimes.
It was?
Yep.
Biggest middle I ever hit in my life was the highest total we've seen in the last 5 years, and it was on 3.
Oh,
and it was the Mexico City relocation.
The Mexico game that moved.
Yeah, that one I believe was Chiefs -4 when it was supposed to be in Mexico City. And I took Rams +4 when we got word that they were going to probably move it to LA. And then it flipped across 3, and I got Chiefs -2.5 when it, like on the close, and it landed 3, even though the total was 60, and they ended up scoring almost 100 points or over 100 points. That was absolutely ridiculous. And that was all at Nitrogen. In Bitcoin. I should go pull those receipts, because that's probably like laughable when you look at it now, because I was max playing them then at that point. So yeah, that was massive. Very lucky though that landed on 3. If you remember that game, that was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
what was your middle?
So my biggest middle, it wasn't like the biggest bet, but it was the biggest middle that it was like, if this doesn't come through, I might just jump off a bridge, because I'm hunting this down right now. I'm gonna go find the actual. So it would have been in September of 2016, and it was Florida State. And so this was on the 4th. It would have been on the 9th. Florida State. So I'm one page. I'm on Odds Portal now to see if I can actually see the line movement on this game. But anyway, Florida State was going to play another team. Here it is, Charleston Southern. And this was like my first piece of informational betting. It's like, hey, Charleston Southern is a whatever it was, 14-point dog, something like that, because it's Florida State. And
of course.
And it was, but they're also going to suspend 30 of their players. And it wasn't just, it was like 30, you only keep like 80, and it was like a shitload of starters. They're like, so if you like Florida State now, maybe bet it now. And it legitimately moved like 21 points. And of course I said, well, I'm taking Charleston Southern plus like 36 or whatever it turned out to be. And it's funny, like, when you do that, and the second bet, that second hedge bet you place, or the second middling bet that you end up putting in, when that one is the one that loses, you feel dumb. Like, I should just sat on my position.
Yeah.
But it was the first
other way around.
I feel like it was the other way around, where that one was kind of in danger. Made me laugh.
Hey, do you like the small conference college basketball? Did you take any Portland Bible yesterday?
You can't Portland Bible. Yeah, they don't let you bet on that shit. That would be fun if they did, though.
What do you think that line would have been? 60?
Yeah, 60 or 70. Like those games between even bad teams and like Division III teams, those are routinely like 120 to 50.
Yeah.
Go Knowles.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you for the medal, though. So,
all
right. Well, nothing is going terribly right for us, except
one final story time, because Cal's here.
Okay.
Cal, I know Cal's best ticket from Nitrogen, because we were all on it together. It was
first kicker.
The first kicker, 50-1 in the NFL draft. Somehow, we
should give Kanish some credit for that.
Kanish sent me the note. He was kind of the originator. Yeah. Oh, he was very much the originator in that.
But,
I didn't even look. I didn't even think to look if they hung day 2 props after we destroyed them day 1. And he was like, check first kicker prop. Field is 50-1. Like, there's no reason that this guy Rodrigo Blankenship, the guy with the freaking glasses, was like minus 250. And it was like, and I thought about it for 5 minutes, and it was literally like, oh my God, Patriots need a kicker. They just cut Gostkowski. There's no way they're taking Blankenship, because the guy had nothing from distance. He was not a pro kicker. And sure enough, they took the guy who was in the white power militia.
Group, yeah.
He was a white supremacist and ended up getting cut and never even playing a snap for them. But he did cash the first kicker prop at 50-1, and they were taking a lot of Bitcoin on that, which is absolutely ridiculous.
It's funny too. He turned out to be only the second most problematic kicker to be drafted within the last 5 years. This Buffalo Bills team drafted
Matt
Ariza, who turned out to be
a punt rapist. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
A legend. I don't know if he's been convicted yet.
That one got real quiet. I guess it's just
I know. Once you're out of the league,
due process play out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. I kept refreshing Bitcoin price when it was near the top to see if we could get like first kicker prop just bought me a house, but didn't quite ever get that high. So that's okay though. Still fun.
Not in California. So,
no.
Jesus, and then Charles Saul, as we're just John Kitten's son.
What did John Kitten's son get us to?
Child
Is he involved
porn?
in a? Oh Christ!
So whenever I see that, and it's like a freshman in college or a younger player, I'm just like, all right. I'm assuming like this guy was dating a high school girl, and he had pictures of her on his phone, because that's classified as underage pornography. If you have nudes of your girlfriend and she's not 18, that shit happens.
Yes.
But I don't want to I don't even want to get into this, but it didn't sound like that was the case. It sounded like this guy might actually be a creeper.
Yeah.
So,
Denny Green's son in the same conversation. God, dude, the Patriots. They're going to come through for us on the Sunday, it looks like. Or at least that's a good start. Burying the Bills at the 1, so Bills can run out the clock for the next 8 minutes and then maybe kick a field goal.
Sad about the over, though. I liked it for a while.
I love it, man.
All
right, Whack Jones.
Whack.
All right, man. Hey, have a great weekend. Catch you on Sunday.